All right, it's Coach Kyle, Carolina Pickleball Club. In this video, I'm going to break down the serve of one of our players. So I'm just going to play this in full speed. All right, we're going to back it up here. Oh, back it up. And then we're going to frame through it. All right, so we're on the right side, and I'm just going to frame through this, and we're going to talk a little bit about the positions that we should be in. And the one thing that I notice is right off the preparation, the coiling, there's not a lot of coiling of the body. So pretty straightforward, pretty straight ahead with the chest. Just a little bit of a coil, so you can see the chest is facing a little bit in this direction, maybe to the net post here. So you're getting a little bit of an uncoil here, and then dropping the paddle down. And then the other thing that I notice is that the palm stays very forward and upright, which is a little bit dangerous through the hitting zone. In other words, if you had a little bit more coil, it would allow the arm to swing more to the outside and add a little bit more of angular motion, and put a little bit more energy and leverage into the shot. But because you're so straight on, it's almost what I call like a cornhole serve, how you throw a cornhole beanbag, and which is fine. You can serve like this, and a lot of people do. But what you're missing is the ability to speed up the paddle tip, because when you're in this position here, if you speed up the paddle tip, then the paddle tip is going to go upwards and make you pop the ball up because of your palm position and the lack of rotation in your forearm. So I think the two things, and again, this is something that you want to consider. You want to think about whether you want to make this change. The game is not prescriptive. You can serve a lot of different ways, but if you want to get a little bit more paddle head speed, you're going to have to change this to more of a side-on motion and let your arm swing out away from you. So what I wanted to do is just show you some videos. I'm going to go through slow motion, this player. So let's back it up and see what we were looking at. First off, you can notice right off the bat, his chest is completely perpendicular to the baseline. So that allows him to uncoil, and then when he uncoils, so he's turning 90 degrees and getting a lot of rotation, and then that allows his arm to go to the outside, and then after contact, if you notice, see how the paddle tip is going faster than the handle? So the paddle tip starts, sorry for the distortion, that's what happens when you use technology to do slow motion. Paddle tip is below. Then when it comes up to contact, the paddle tip is starting to raise. And then after contact, you'll notice that the paddle tip is going above. See how it's going above the handle here? And that allows you to get an extra paddle head speed through the contact zone, but you have to change your serve motion. It has to be more angular than linear. So we'll take a look at, so you can see the player at the top here.
They get everything back.
You can just notice the coiling and uncoiling.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, look at this. You can see his back. So he's more than perpendicular. If he was perpendicular, you could just see his shoulder line. But now you can see his back. And as he goes to contact, watch his arm sling outwards. And then you can't see it because of the blur, but his paddle tip is running up the back of the ball and rotating over. And then I have a video here of just me doing some serves, and you can see the rotation of the body. And you can also see the paddle head, the paddle tip rotating through contact. That I would focus in on would be more rotation, let the arms sling out a little bit more to the side, and also rotate that forearm through contact. So hopefully this is helpful. I'm Coach Kyle, Carolina Pickleball Club.